Hello, and welcome to The Feminist Frame, where we explore our favorite new movies, TV shows, games, and anything pop culture through a feminist lens. I'm Aubrey, here to discuss The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina with my co-host Olivia and our guest SJ. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina debuted on Netflix on October 26, 2018. It's a surprisingly dark, coming-of-age retelling of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's adapted from the comic series by the same name in the Archie horror universe. Now, this episode will contain spoilers, so if you have not watched the entire first season, bookmark this for later and come back to listen when you have. Okay, so we're here with Olivia and SJ. What did you guys think?
Well, it's very different from the Sabrina.
Yeah.
That we grew up with.
Oh my god. Dude, it's scary kind of. I was surprised how spooky it was. Like the first episode, whenever the scissors in the neck, I was like, whoa. I was not expecting that.
I do think it is kind of scary, but like, I don't know, can we talk about like what age we think the target audience was here for? Because if you look at like the relationships in Sabrina, they're still very, like, kind of juvenile.
Right.
Like, where I think it is, you know, sort of, like, targeted towards a younger crowd as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree that there's for starters, there's a triangle. I don't know, am I giving anything away too soon? But,
No.
I mean, that to me screams YA.
Absolutely.
Which boy will I choose?
Oh, yeah. But I also think they're going for that nostalgia crash grab that everybody is doing right now. Like, how many 90s remakes do we have on Netflix? They're like, that nostalgia. And we all watched it. So, obviously, it's working.
I do have to say, I mean, I grew up in high school. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was like the big horror teen thing. And that was cinematic and had a lot of strengths. But watching Sabrina, it's just like, oh my God, we're so advanced. Like it's beautiful to watch. You know, the dialogue can be pretty neat sometimes.
I do think that, like, I don't know, bringing up Sabrina brings an interesting, I guess, comparison because, you know, bringing up Buffy. When Buffy, they had, like, terrible graphic, you know, effects, like makeup, you know, looks cheesy and just really bad and really fake looking. But, you know, the scissors in the neck, super graphic, like kind of that gore's there and you're like, holy shit. Like that wasn't expected, looks real. But then you have some of the like monsters in the show in Sabrina though that come out and I'm like, let's walk it back down to the terrible graphics, terrible makeup. Like somebody's just threw on a mask and is like, you know,
I almost felt like some of that was on purpose, right? Like the sleep monster or demon was super hokey, but I was almost like maybe they don't want it to be too scary for a 16-year-old audience.
And we have all seen that sleep episode on Buffy. I do.
Yeah. I actually haven't. I have to confess I wasn't a Buffy watcher.
Not a Buffy watcher.
I know.
Scrolling through my emojis, a little off topic, but there's a floating man in a suit, and I was like, is this the guy from Buffy?
The gentleman.
Yeah. I was just like,
I'm kind of sad I never watched it because I think it's like too late for me now. I don't know if I could go back. Even though I've read like all these amazing quotes by like Joss Whedon, the creator and stuff, and it's supposed to be this really great ally feminist, and I'm like, oh damn. Yeah. But now when I like watch like a preview to see if I want to go back, and
just
I think
too hokey.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do it.
No, I took a class on like exploring feminist theory through Buffy.
Oh, that's amazing.
In undergrad, and so I think that might have. But I think we're past that. I think we're taking classes on Beyonce and maybe Sabrina at this point.
But no, I do think that some of the bad graphics maybe were just like.
Do you think that's like
keeping it young?
And then like the bad graphics, like the bad makeup, the bad whatever, like are all on the scary creatures, the monsters or whatever. But like all of the violence looks more real. And do you think that's because we're a little bit more desensitized to that kind of stuff? Like. I mean, she slits somebody's throat in this series, and like
that's a good point.
Pretty intense.
That scene was very intense. Like, maybe little bits of like dark Sabrina coming out is. I hope to explore more and we'll talk about this in a minute. But she's not the most interesting main character in the entire world. Like, duality is cool, but I don't know. I think part of that is because, and we'll talk about this too, but like Zelda and Hilda are such powerhouses. They completely command every scene that they're in, and you're like, who's this about? Oh, not you guys? Cool. My bad.
I do think there's something a little played out about the hybrid identity of like, oh, you're half something and half something, and now we're going to see what it means when they combine together. Like, never heard that plot point before. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I mean, Zelda and Hilda. Oh my God. Hilda is my queen. I know some folks...
I love her.
Zelda's great. She's fierce and she dresses amazing, but I want Hilda to like be my sassy aunt.
Oh my God. Well, and I've been a fan of Lucy Davis for a long time. So when I saw her, I was like, oh yes.
Dawn. From The Office. Or she's also in...
Yep. That and Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
And she's so good in it too. Yeah. I did, before we go on to them really quick though, I did just want to say, like, I also was surprised how dark it was. Just like thinking back, and we just did Harry Potter on the last episode, but like thinking back on all of the friends I had that couldn't read Harry Potter growing up because it involved witchcraft. I am like just imagining some of the evangelical housewife, like moms, like losing their shit. Like it's about what?
Hail like Satan.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm just like, I can't imagine
what's going on in those junior high homes.
I wonder, like, you know, are there like letters going out to Netflix just for this? I haven't heard very much about it, but there's got to be some people who are just like, they said what? She's signing her name in the devil's book. We knew it. Like,
yep. And in my household, praise Satan, hail Satan is pretty much like we say it multiple times. It's sort of, I mean, you can't watch that show and not anytime something good happens, say praise Satan.
Oh my God. I'm super here for it, but I just love thinking about how upset some people are. Yeah. But so moving on to characters. Sabrina, I do love little Sally Draper all grown up. It took me a second to recognize her.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh.
She's quite a character. I mean, she started holding her own in Mad Men.
Mm-hmm. I think she's a good
time ago.
actress.
She's pretty solid.
But I just, once again, we kind of covered it, but I don't think she's super interesting yet, but I think she can be. There's more to come. I hope.
I think anytime you have, I think it's actually really common in these like teen sort of character ensemble shows where like the chosen one isn't like Harry Potter, Buffy. Like they're not always the most interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a really good point with Harry Potter and especially Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, my favorites are always kind of like the side characters or the best friend or something like that. They usually give them a little bit more of a personality.
Hermione,
yeah. I don't know why. If you need your main character, like if they're trying to like play him straight, you know, like so that way more people can identify with him, but I don't think it really works in the end whenever you just, because then it just turns out you're not giving your main character a personality.
Yeah.
I do actually, what I like about her character is the sort of mistakes she makes. So she is, a teenager and she's going through this. She kind of has her like badass moments of, surprisingly thinking for herself and, maybe deciding signing her name away isn't the right way to go, even though everybody in her family is and everybody is kind of pushing her in that direction. So like she does have these really awesome moments, but then she's got plenty of moments where you're like, what the hell are you doing, Sabrina?
Probably don't resurrect your boyfriend's dead brother. Don't do that. Right. That's not a good idea.
Or afterwards, whenever she's like arguing with her Aunt Zelda, like she just comes off as such a child. Yeah, very bratty. Like you don't know what you're doing. Listen to these women who have centuries of experience and they know what they're saying when they tell you don't mess around with necromancy. But it kind of shows her evolving, I guess. Like, I mean, she is a teenager. She's gonna make those mistakes. So like to have her
but just with lots of power.
Yeah. A little dangerous maybe.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate that she doesn't shy away from, what might be considered unethical or problematic or terrible behavior sometimes, though. Like, it is incredibly satisfying when she covers her principal with spiders. And like, there's a moment where you're sort of still learning her character, and you're like, is she gonna do that? And then you're like, holy shit.
Right.
She did.
She
and
is.
I think 10 years ago in a teen drama,
She wouldn't have done it.
I think she would have like pulled back right
a good
at the
thing
end.
to do. Yeah.
But no, she's maybe in league with Satan, so she's gonna keep going.
Right. Well, and it was like to get the club started. So I think that little bit of motivation, like, this is righteous in my mind because I'm doing it for, like, you know, a means to an end.
Yeah.
Which could be some foreshadowing for now that she has signed the Devil's Book.
Yeah. Which, and we've seen some conversations about sort of season 2 being set up to be that, like, taking on the patriarchy. And I think we're all here for that.
Yeah, I think so. So we should talk about Harvey too, the love interest.
Harvey.
I could do with a lot less Harvey. Like, not interesting, don't like him, don't care for him, zero personality. We talk about Sabrina's little personality. Harvey's got zero in my mind.
He draws comics.
He's got his art. He's got his art. He's pretty milquetoast, but
Yeah, he is super milquetoast. I don't think that, you know, giving him credit, I don't think that he's so bad as a character as much as there's too much of him. Because she's so focused.
Yeah,
kind
she's
of like
incredibly focused on Harvey.
Yeah.
Which is one of my pet peeves. she's got these awesome best friends, and she's like, oh, where's Harvey?
Mm-hmm.
Harvey. And I do appreciate that he's not like overwhelmingly masculine or like sort of toxically masculine. So that's nice. And I had some friends say that they wish you'd be just more masculine. And I'm like,
what? No.
I'm good.
It's a nice change of pace from, you know, our growing up Sabrina TV show and the comic, where Harvey is kind of a more masculine, albeit sometimes a doofus, like, you know, jock kind of character. So I guess it is nice to see him take on a different role. I still think he's not interesting. Like, maybe you could do something a little bit more with him.
No, I was saying, before we started, that I do really appreciate the dynamic with his dad of, like, not being man enough and, like, you know, having this sort of rural industry where you're supposed to, a very, like, coal mining is an incredibly, quote-unquote, masculine profession, and he's not interested in that. And then also setting that up with, like, the economic needs of the family and having to rebel against that, too. So that's my favorite part of him, definitely. But, he's still...
I think he's incredibly disposable. And I think that's the point. Like, so.
Something can happen. It can affect Sabrina, but, you know, we as the audience don't really.
Kind of seems like he's going to be a moral compass on her, though, as she goes, like, full bad witch, you know? He was very much saw clearly with the brother thing, although it was his brother, to be fair. But I kind of think that he might end up being a little bit of her moral compass, which could be interesting. I'm also not particularly interested in the other love interest, witch boy.
Nick?
Yes, Nick.
I don't like... Nick, I'll be honest, looks like a fuckboy.
He does look and act like a fuckboy.
He acts like a fuckboy. You know, if he walks like a fuckboy and talks like a fuckboy, you know he is.
100% agree. However, I do like his character more because I feel like there's more of an interesting story that would unfold out of it.
Sure.
You know, so, like, even though
we don't know anything
probably
about
feels
him.
like a worse kid, you know, personality, like, in real life, you know, wise, I think that the storyline would be a lot more interesting. Because, we don't know what he's got in store. And, like you said, if he's a fuckboy, something's going to happen. Like, you know, it's bound to kind of drive some drama in there, so...
Well, now that she's broken off with Harvey at the end, which talk about, we've seen that trope before, like, I can't be near you, it's too dangerous because I'm the chosen one. Like, sleep. Okay.
We've been there.
Talking about Roz and Susie, though.
So Roz and Susie, to me, just kind of feel like the additions that were made, so she gets her, like, woke feminist intersectional like
points.
Yeah. They aren't really developed. I think we talked earlier about they like start getting a little bit more character development towards the end, but like definitely in the beginning.